What's up, everybody? It's Make It Make Sense. I be telling y'all, I be trying to live right, but the devil is all in my way. If you know what this is, you know exactly what I'm talking about. My trainer is not gonna like this. It just is what it is. Like the video as intro plays, we got a lot to get into.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense to me intellectually.
Make it make sense. You know
Big moves. Surfer. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you see. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you see. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
Ms. Howard, what are you thinking?
She lied, and I should have known better when I seen her hair.
I gotta feel you were somewhat worried, weren't you? I mean, $9,000?
Okay, so if you're a new subscriber, let me tell you guys, the lady at the end with the hair, I knew that the straight shooters were growing when somebody knew who that woman was and reached out to me and told me she is literally the nicest person on earth. I don't know what she did to the other lady's hair. I'm sure she's a real nice lady, but apparently her friend is a straight shooter. So I don't know how long I'm gonna keep that in rotation, but shout out to her. I hear she's a good person. Okay, so we're going to start off with Lizzo. Lizzo is somebody that people have wanted me to look into. When she initially had her lawsuits, I definitely read them, had my commentary on them, but Lizzo's stuff is kind of like on the back burner now for everybody because of the fact that Diddy has kind of like taken over. But this reporter got shut down, and I thought Lizzo did it in extremely... we'll just say classy for lack of, I hate when people say classy, but we're just going to say classy for lack of a better term.
Last year, you had some allegations against you of sexual harassment and creating a hostile work environment, all of which you have denied. And I want to be completely clear about that. How did you feel when that news came to light?
You know, I don't want to talk about things like that. This isn't the space where we're celebrating female CEOs and powerful women. This isn't really the space to talk about the negative things that happen to us, because so much negative stuff happens to powerful women, and this is not the space.
It does. I did. And I think that's one of the reasons why we have to ask the question, to give the powerful woman the opportunity to answer in her own words rather than just let stories circulate online.
Right. As I agree with you, I don't think this is the platform for that.
Okay. Had a difficult year last year.
So Lizzo really like took over. Lizzo is what a lot of artists want to be. She is a crossover act. Everybody effed with Lizzo, basically. Everybody was at her concerts, and her star has kind of dimmed as a result of these allegations. It was pretty quick after the allegations surfaced. So we'll see. I'll definitely look to see where the lawsuit is. If you don't remember, basically two of her dancers who weren't willing to kind of like play the game, who weren't willing to, how do I say this without getting in trouble from YouTube? Some of the accusations were Lizzo took them to a kind of like a strip club, but I think they were in like, I know they were somewhere in Asia. In this particular strip club, the young ladies on stage would lay flat, and then they would shoot ping pong balls out of their lady part, and you were expected to catch them in your mouth. We'll just say it was ussy ping balls. You just add a P. It's ussy ping balls in your mouth. Those are the accusations. We don't know. And a lot of other accusations like that. Where Lizzo would be more inclined to let the other dancers who were more willing to do events and things like that and crazy stuff, she would have them on the private jet, and all the other dancers who did not want to participate would be, I guess riding, on a regular plane. Either way it goes. Say no to ping pong balls. I like the way she shut this person down. All these things are allegations. We don't yet know if they are true. She did not actually, touch the women or kiss them. It's not that type of lawsuit. It's just that they feel like they were exposed to things that they don't feel that they needed to be in a work environment. So anyway, that's your update. We're moving right into the mess. This don't have nothing to do with nothing, but I still think it's funny that Naomi Campbell had hit that woman in the head with her cell phone. Well, she hit a couple people in the head with their cell phone, but when she finally had community service for it, she wears this super crazy expensive gown to collect trash. Kind of like thumbing her nose up to the justice system. I still think this is funny. Guys, we got 1,300 in the chat. Definitely hit the like button. As you can tell, we're going to mix other stories in. I'm going to give you guys, if there's just crazy, insane stuff going on with Diddy and we have to really, really deep dive, I'll definitely do a day of Diddy. But I'm going to try my best to mix in other topics so that you get more of a full show. I've gotten a lot of feedback about people wanting the mixture, so we'll try it out. Oh, Naomi. Guys, we have like 1,300 in the chat. Let's try to get to 1,000 likes pretty quickly. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. We are now over 195,000 straight shooters. So we're super close to our goal of 200,000 by the end of the year. But just a reminder, Rihanna and Naomi used to be friends. They were in a lot of pictures together. They did a lot of events together. They actually did what I think is one of the best Vogue shoots in history. For Rihanna to be able to hold her own with these two titans, that's when I knew Rihanna had really reached another level. She held her own in this photo. But shout out to Autumn. Autumn has been here since day one. She is also a mod. Thank you for being here, Autumn. A day oneer. Thank you for the super sticker as well. We don't get to see you as often in here, but thank you so much for being here. Okay. But just a reminder, this is what happened at the fashion show between Rihanna and Naomi. It was pretty icy. That was pretty icy. We all know what happened between Rihanna and Naomi at this point. Rihanna was dating a young man right after Naomi, and he was some billionaire from the Middle East. Rihanna was soon seen cozying up to him, and then that was the end of their friendship, association. It was done. Then we saw La Roche and Naomi say this after the fashion show, which led people to believe that they were talking about Rihanna always liking to take her clothes off.
To the shows like the other girls. We don't come with our tatas out or our chi-chis out. Very demure.
Very mindful.
Very cutesy.
Don't give too much.
Just give a little.
It's not about showing yourself. It's about showing the clothes.
Very demure.
Very cutesy.
Very mindful. Go to the shows like the other girls. We don't come with our tatas out or our chi-chis out. Very demure.
Very mindful.
Very cutesy.
It wasn't rehearsed very well, but people thought she was talking about Rihanna. Naomi then came out and said those things were not true, even though we all saw Rihanna ignore the hell out of her. Naomi Campbell is making it clear that she is not letting folks' assumptions create the narrative that there is tension between her and Rihanna. During New York Fashion Week, Rihanna was spotted arriving at the Alea fashion show. In the viral video, she was seen walking past Naomi. Many people assume that Naomi and Rihanna may have an issue. However, Naomi said she is not feeding into the narrative. During a recent interview with the New York Times before she was accused of stealing from her charity. Naomi always has some bad press, y'all. I just threw that in there. This was not about this. Naomi briefly addressed the matter and said, "I'm not about to let the world pitch two black women against each other. We are two women with two children, mothers." That is true. The only difference is we do not know who the father is for Naomi's children. Naomi's been very secretive about her children, but she does have 2 very young children. Isn't she's not being charged with theft, but basically they're saying that she can no longer have a charity, just like Trump can't have a charity for however many years. Naomi is in that boat as well. No, I'm sure she's gonna fight it, but that's where they're at right now. But let's see. Shout out to the 2 of them actually embracing. I don't really know where they were, but they had a conversation. The neighborhood or the shade room caught this. It says Naomi Campbell and Rihanna were spotted outside chatting following rumors they had beef. Well, they did have beef, but that man isn't in either one of their lives. That man was not going to marry either of these 2 very beautiful black women. He was having fun with them. His parents are, I think they are the largest seller of Toyotas in the Middle East, making them billionaires. There have been rumors that him and his whatever were able to set Rihanna up before they ended as an apology for not being able to marry her. He was able to set her up with a meeting so that she could, it was like that LV, whatever that super large fashion brand is, a deal that really helped launch Rihanna in that direction. So who knows? That's just a rumor. But shout out to them for, that was so many years ago. Neither one of them is with that man. Naomi has dated a bunch of billionaires. He was just one in the mix, and Rihanna's a billionaire. Shout out to these 2 beautiful black queens making it work, basically. I don't think that it's weird. LM says, weird thing to say he was having fun with them. Is dating not fun? He was just having fun. The relationship didn't advance. Dating, having fun. I don't think that that's really the connotation that you took it as. I just think he was whatever. But in his situation, I've heard that his family would not allow him to marry a black woman. So Rihanna is actually like my favorite celebrity. There's something about Rihanna from the very beginning. She really just doesn't give a F. Back when she was in her younger days, her Twitter would be insane. I think that her and Sierra had a little bit of something, and Sierra said something about she wasn't very nice to her. It was on like some fashion show on E, like with Joan Rivers. And Sierra said, Rihanna, I saw her at an event. She really wasn't nice to me, and that's crazy because she used to open for me. And I'll never forget Rihanna responded that via tweet and said, good luck booking those stages today. Rihanna will clap back. Anyway, off that, shout out to them. Now, we're moving on to Tyra Banks. If you don't know, Tyra Banks was on the Victoria's Secret catwalk again. She hadn't been on there for, I think they said somewhere around 20 years. 2005 was the last time Tyra walked the show. Tyra really was damn near the face of Victoria's Secret for many years, along with Gisele Bündchen. I think Tyra's like, 55? I think that people were expecting Tyra to, drop weight and do this. And Tyra doesn't have to do that anymore. She's not a working model. She's already told you guys she does not like when not you guys, but she already told the media she does not like when she has to go and drop weight for stuff. I thought she looked great. I thought she did great. But they are saying that there were some things in the background. It says, y'all believe it. Tyra Banks allegedly refused to participate in Victoria's Secret fashion show if Naomi Campbell was involved. Sources claim she was a nightmare behind the scenes, the only model that demanded their own dressing room. Radar Online is claiming that Tyra Banks is doing the most behind the scenes at this year's Victoria's Secret fashion show. According to reports, Tyra was very excited to participate in the fashion following her 19-year hiatus, but had some very specific requests. Per the source, Tyra refused to participate in the event if Naomi Campbell had anything to do with it. stating she insisted if they wanted her, they couldn't also have Naomi Campbell. They are also claiming the diva flat out refused to share a room, although the other models were sharing, and demanded the cameraman shoot her angles correctly. I don't think that she's wrong for having the cameraman. You're at Tyra Banks. I don't think she's wrong if she wanted her own dressing room. These models are up and coming or on their way. She's established. I think she even opened the show. Yeah, I don't really see a problem with it. In addition to that, they are claiming Tyra refused to be shot from behind and demanded her bottom be covered at all times. She's again a woman of a certain age. She's no longer having to walk in Victoria's Secret or shoot for Sports Illustrated. I don't see an issue with that. Victoria's Secret allegedly had to design a special bustle for her to wear during the catwalk. Look, if we're just going to be honest, Victoria's Secret needed Tyra Banks or something crazy because basically Fenty took them off the map. Victoria's Secret was known for their scantily clad, very bony, no meat on their bones models. Fenty came out, had their own fashion show. I guess it was more fun, and it involved sizes from extra small all the way to, I think, like 4 or 5X. And it basically, the inclusion took Victoria's Secret off the map. And some other scandals included in there. This is their first year back, and they needed to make a big deal. And Tyra is definitely more associated with that than Naomi Campbell. Both walked, but Tyra really was Miss Sports Illustrated and Miss Victoria's Secret. It is what it is. Jess said, ain't nobody checking for Victoria's Secret no more. Kudos to Tyra. I don't know if this is true, but even if she didn't want Naomi involved, if Naomi had walked that catwalk with Tyra, in all honesty, the only thing everybody would be saying is they would be pitting them against each other and comparing their walks. That's it. It is what it is. But again, shout out to Riri and Naomi for making it work. Does anybody feel bad for Justin? Justin Combs was sued for $190,000 after reportedly missing lease payments on a 2022 Bentley. It looks like Justin Combs is in a little hot water himself. Porsche Lease Holdings is looking to collect $190,000 from Combs after he missed one payment. Porsche claims Justin entered into a lease for a new Bentley Bentayga V8 in January of 2022, agreeing to make 42 payments of $3365.23, but they insist he missed a payment on December 20, 2023. The Lux Car Company is claiming he owes $172 in total and is asking for an additional $13,000 in interest. Per the lease, the company could demand the entire amount owed if a default occurred. Reports allege Justin is claiming the payment was missed because the bill was sent to an incorrect address and was adamant that the case would be dropped soon. Do y'all believe this? Or do you think that, after the stuff is going on with Diddy, he don't have no money? Now, December 2023 was a crazy month for Diddy. Could he have forgotten? Do you think, do we know if Justin works? We know that Quincy kind of makes music. King Combs, I guess, makes music. I don't know how much money they make from it, but outside of Justin going to UCLA and playing football, I don't know. I don't know what he does. We hear that if you're one of his friends, you're not really safe. You might get pow-powed in the gut during a disagreement at your daddy's recording studio. But outside of that, we don't know anything about Justin. We heard he had that DUI. So do you usually upgrade to a Bentley after a DUI? I don't know. Shout out to you and your Bentley, I guess, Justin. Where's your friend? That's what we need to know. We need to know where Justin's friend is, because out of everything that I've heard, Nobody knows where the boy is who was pow-powed in the gut. What's up, Autumn? Thank you so much for the super sticker. Natasha, thank you for the super sticker. Be blessed. Good evening, family. Please hit that like button. Yeah, definitely hit that like button. I don't know where we are on likes. Let's see. We don't even have 1,000 likes yet, y'all. Definitely hit that like button. Also, there was a video I was working on today. I still need the private investigator to come back with the results. But that one will be a doozy. That one directly involves one of these court cases that we have been following very closely. And if I'm right, it will change the whole perception of the case. So I just need verification from the private investigator, but that's one that you definitely will not want to miss. Cheryl Hayes, thank you for the super sticker. And Spiritual Gangster, we all should give a round of applause for leaving the music. Wait, what? We should all give her a round of applause for leaving the music business on her own note. If half of it's true, Anti told us she was done. I mean, I still listen to that last Rihanna album, to be honest with you, and it's still charting 7 or 8 years after. I was ready to hear whatever album she has in the wait. Definitely a big fan. But if you are kind of saying what some of the other people went through, and hopefully she didn't go through the same stuff that we're hearing some of the other people went through. Okay, let's get into this. Dawn has now given an interview, and I hope that Dawn is okay. I don't know. You guys can tell me. It looked like Dawn was pretty stressed, but she is promoting her latest project. I'm gonna go ahead and download it, check it out. I definitely want to give her, some streams, but I feel like this lawsuit is taking a toll on Dawn.
I've been speaking of this. I mean, if you listen to my trilogy, The Black Heart, Golden Heart, like that is literally, Golden Heart was about a warrior who felt like it was like David and Goliath, this person that has this one little rock trying to fight these massive dragons, right? And that was literally the story and the message that has been through most of my projects. It's just with this, it was added that life happened too, right? Not only had I gone through the severity of what the music business, and I think everybody has their story, right? With music, as a Black woman, I had my story in it. And I've been very vocal about what that has been, right? Where you get into the situation where you can often be the product rather than the human. There was just a lot going on for me that added to the reality that if I don't start speaking.
With Dawn, her situation is extremely sad. Diddy targeted the part of Dawn that he felt was weakest and exploited it. Told her, I love your voice, but I don't love the way you look. Did whatever with Aubrey, told Aubrey she was the only attractive one in the group, and everybody else he put down. And so there were so many people who would come at Dawn for her looks and, consistently, that was her critique. You have a great voice, the look. So when Dawn, I believe she got like a nose job. There were times where there were different iterations of the group, and Dawn would come back and look very different. Diddy forced her to get her breast done at the same time that he forced Cassie to get 2 breast augmentations in, I think, like a 2-week span. So, the industry kind of chewed her up and spit her out. But Diddy specifically tried to belittle her about her looks at the same time that he was, fondling her, she said, coming into the dressing room to see her undress. Dawn was like extremely talented. Dawn is a writer. Dawn is a individual, which a lot of times people don't really understand, but she has a fan base I just don't think that she had support from the people in the music industry. And it started because Diddy was her boss. But everybody always says that Dawn has like a unique texture to her voice.
I'm not going to be in the right place. And it's something that I think, for me, music has always been a piece of therapy that has saved me. But rather than dance through it, which was what I normally was doing, is get on the stage and dance and high impact, I found a quietness in that. And that quietness was the inspiration that, Spencer was a part of that, right? He was the kind of key to be like, maybe you need to sit in this. This is the art. This is the maturity. This is years of dealing with the realities of my pain, years of understanding that you can't fault everybody. You have to like see what those things are and also see the hope in them. And I promised myself that if I did do this with Spencer, in the end, there would feel and be hope. I love the person that I've become. I love the musical person I've become. And
now, I don't know who Spencer Zahn is. So I looked him up and it said he's a multi-instrumental. He's marked by openness, spacious, sonic landscapes, rich with contributions from his creative community. He's a New York City-based musician, a lush collection of instrumental songs that I guess it contains jazz, ambient pop, Americana, neoclassical. I hadn't really heard of him before. But I'm definitely gonna check out her project. I don't know. Does anybody in the chat know? Somebody saying, is that her man? I don't know. Nobody. Okay, so I'm not seeing. So I don't know who he is either. But whatever she needs to do to feel happy and healthy and productive, I say go for it. Maybe this man is like a musical savant.
And this project speaks to what that journey has been. The truth is, I've been speaking of this. I mean, if you listen to my trilogy, The Black Heart, Golden Heart, like that is literally, Golden Heart was about a warrior who felt like it was like David and Goliath, this person that has this one little rock trying to fight these massive dragons, right?
One thing that I don't like in Dawn's story is people not realizing that Bad Boy might not have been a thing anymore, but you can still have a lot of power. Diddy can still influence his very powerful people who are at the top. I just went through Dawn's court case, and Dawn had tried to sue Sony. That has been voluntarily dismissed. And I think, was it Epic? Maybe it might be Epic. Also, that side of her case has been voluntarily dismissed. So I'm rooting for Dawn. I believe this stuff happened to her. And I also believe that when you're victimized by somebody that powerful and you're still in their industry, sometimes you just have to, unfortunately, I think that she was playing along to get along. I do think she was violated, but I do think until Cassie came out and said it, she did not believe that she could speak up in the way that she did in her lawsuit. So, kudos to Dawn. I'm going to definitely give it, I'm going to download her project. And y'all download it too. Give the girl some streams. Check it out. You may like it if you've never heard her stuff. Now, I want to shout out a straight shooter. I'm not going to say your name because I don't know if I can, but Miss D sent me some information and I thought it was extremely interesting. Miss D, you know who you are. I'm not going to say your name. So hopefully you're checking out this video. But if you guys remember correctly, there was this whole thing about Diddy being transferred. Sean Diddy Combs not transferred to Essex County Jail amid legal battle. It says Essex County officials have confirmed that hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs, who faces multiple federal charges of sex trafficking, has not been moved to Essex County Jail despite swirling social media rumors. Essex County spokesperson Mr. Anthony Puglisi responded to an information request by RLS Media, clarifying that Combs is not housed at the county facility. This clarification follows widespread speculation the music icon had been relocated from the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn after his legal team reportedly raised concerns about the deteriorating conditions at the federal detention center. An affidavit revealed that federal prosecutors in Manhattan alleged that Combs... Okay, we know this. Blah, blah, blah. According to reporting by John Anise of the New York Daily News, Combs' attorney, Mark, recently sought his client's transfer to the Essex County Jail in New Jersey, which has previously housed federal detainees. Agnifilo described the New Jersey facility on TMZ as a little less difficult, citing persistent issues at MDC, which he said remain unresolved. The request for relocation comes after the U.S. District Judge Andrew Carter denied Combs' appeal for a $50 million bail released last week. In a subsequent statement, Combs' lawyers indicated they would not pursue further efforts to move their client. Now, here's where Ms. D's information comes in handy. The mayor is a good friend of Diddy's. Me and Sean Combs, before he was P. Diddy, the fight against injustice has always been a part of my life. Rallies and marches have been and will continue to be a powerful tool when fighting for our beliefs and against inequality. We won't be fooled by rhetoric or drive-by candidates. Let the work we've done speak for us. So Diddy not only heavily campaigned, it's alleged that, he gave nice amounts of money during this man's bids for elections. So you are specifically trying to be moved to a non-federal jail where your good personal friend is the mayor of that city. What do you think would have happened in a situation where his good friend, the mayor, could call the jail and say, maybe, just maybe, he doesn't like this. Maybe he wants this kind of food. Maybe put him in a better location. Maybe give him more privileges. The man's name is Mayor Ras Baraka, and it is Diddy's friend all the way dating back to Howard University. Now, I believe Diddy did not actually graduate from Howard, but he did make a splash. He quit. He started working for, I think, Uptown Records. And there are allegations that even as young as, 19 years old, he literally pulled his girlfriend at the time out into the quad and publicly beat her. That's what Diddy was doing at the time he was supposed to be in college. He was promoting parties where people passed away. People forget about the stampede that happened at one of Diddy's events and beating his girlfriend. So these things are not new, allegedly. But yes, again, shout out to Miss D, right? Trap House Mystery. Shout out to Miss D. There's been a few things. I've really been meaning to get to my emails. I've been checking them, but there's a lot of emails. So, it takes time. But thank you guys for the ones who sent me some tips. I appreciate you. But yeah, like this was, if Diddy had been moved to that jail, for those people who are watching this in the repeater, you could put in the comment section, how much cushier do you think his jail experience would have been with his friend as the mayor of the city? Just like Eric Adams was pushing the inspectors to, what did he do? It was like, where were these people from? I think they were somewhere in the Middle East. They had rushed their embassy, and Eric Adams called the inspectors and said, I don't care if it will not pass. You need to go ahead and pass them, because they were giving him $10,000 flights or whatever else. Dog Mom says, I don't believe Diddy's in DMC. I've heard several theories. I've heard that he's actually in North Carolina. We'll see. I'll look into those as well. You know, I can't be all Diddy all the time, but I'm definitely gonna look into some of these things, and I cannot wait until the private investigator calls me back. Because if that's the case, I'll do that video tomorrow. Oh, we got some more super chats. Where are we? Bullheaded says, never trust a man with hips or one that doesn't have a chin. Who don't have a chin, Diddy? Hera, evening, ma'ams. Hope you get some rest. We need you around, and thank you for all that you do. Yeah, yesterday was a day of rest. That Diddy video the day before yesterday was a lot, but I'm in a better place with it now. We're gonna review some of the stuff because there's a whole conspiracy theory that we're about to get into next. D Helen, did you see the raid on music execs Naheem Bonilla home in Miami? No, but I'll look that up right now. Naheem Bonilla. Let's see. Music executive Naheem Jorge Bonilla arrested in FBI drug trafficking raid. A massive drug trafficking investigation has led to the arrest of music executive, also known as Naheem and the One, after the FBI raided his Aventura, Florida mansion on Wednesday. The high-profile bust took place at his residence. There's a broader federal probe into transnational drug trafficking conspiracy involving large amounts of coke and meth. But does it have anything to do specifically with Diddy? Oh, are you suggesting that maybe he was that's how he was getting his stuff? Okay, so I didn't connect the dots. I heard about the Canadian snowboarder, but I did not know it was connected to this guy. He received threats regarding his mother's safety if he failed to settle his drug-related debts. Okay. Criminal enterprise. Let's see if I can if there's any connections. What's up, Kamala? I'm sorry, Kamala, my bad. Let's see if there's any connections. Naheem Bonilla Diddy. Oh. I'm not seeing any like real connections to Diddy with this guy. I mean, besides the fact he was in Miami and dabbled in drugs. I'll look into it a little bit further, but I'm not seeing any direct connection so far, D. Okay. Connected to DJ Khaled. Let me see. I'll have to look into it because I'm not seeing anything right off the bat that, I mean, outside of, maybe he produced some stuff for him, but I don't even see that in any of the headlines. But I'll definitely check into that. Thank you. Oh, he's living in Khaled's old house. Okay. D says definitely connected. Thanks for the super chat. Definitely connected to Khaled. Okay. I will definitely check into that. But let's get into this. So there was this very shocking complaint that we went through the other night. It was the one that involved the woman who had been violated with the remote control. Well, there were parts in it that suggested that there had been some police cover-ups. And now the police have actually released a statement that does not, I don't think it's helping them. We'll get into it. So just to remind you, this is the young lady who alleged she was, violently R-worded by Diddy and 2 other men, and she was set up by some man that she met. She also stabbed Diddy, which I was trying to look for pictures of his back. If there's a stab wound, you would definitely be able to see that. So her saying that she stabbed him is something that can be proven. Let's see. She ran down the door. Defendant Diddy chased her. And attempted to push her, but she was already at the bottom of the stairs and gained her footing, wielded the knife at the defendant Diddy, grazing his abdomen. Hearing the commotion, I'm sorry, it was the abdomen. Why did I think it was the back? I'm gonna have to go look for some pictures of his stomach then. Let's see. This was also the one that somehow one of the other women there was able to grab a pow and shot at her while she was running down the street. Once plaintiff made it on the street, she began yelling loudly for someone to call the police. Defendant Doe 1, who had now caught up with plaintiff, advised plaintiff that he was an undercover cop. The same neighbor then again emerged from his residence asking what was transpiring. Just as plaintiff was attempting to answer, gunshots began being fired in plaintiff's direction. Plaintiff fled to a car near where the neighbor was also taking cover and lost sight of defendant Doe 1. Plaintiff then heard an SUV screeching and speeding, leaving the residence. Plaintiff then entered the home of the neighbor, who informed her that he had already called the police. Plaintiff informed the neighbor that it was Sean Combs who had R-worded her and also shot at them, but the neighbor was unaware who Diddy was. Shortly thereafter, sheriff from Contra Costa Sheriff's Department arrived at the neighbor's home. Plaintiff told the sheriff she had been violently gang R-worded by defendant Diddy and others, and that she did not have her clothes, phone, purse, car keys, or cell phone. The sheriff told plaintiff and the neighbor that they had received several noise complaints prior to the neighbor's calls and instructed plaintiff to find a way to get home. The sheriff did not offer to take plaintiff home, nor did he call for emergency service, including ambulance, nor any offer to take plaintiff to the hospital, nor any offer to help plaintiff recover her clothes or effects from defendant Shane's residence. You guys remember this one, right? Let's see. So we heard about that one, but then there was a second time. Let's see. On March 2018, she contacted her primary care requesting these tests be done. Plaintiff tried to continue her life as she felt she wouldn't be believed. Plaintiff already had told Contra Costa Sheriff's defendant Diddy R-worded her to no avail. Let's see. She went to the hospital, asked for an R-word kit, ultrasound, and x-rays. She told members of the treatment team about her assault, and they contacted Walnut Creek Police. Walnut Creek Police showed up to plaintiff's hospital room and took a statement regarding her assault on March 23rd. Plaintiff had already told Contra Sheriffs about her R-word and that it was defendant Diddy who orchestrated it on March 23rd, 2018, which was ignored. Plaintiff declined to refer to defendant Diddy again to Walnut Creek Police because she believed she would be ignored by the Walnut Creek Police just as she was by the Contra Costa County Sheriff and would be further harmed by defendant Diddy. Plaintiff believes her statements made to Walnut Creek Police while at the hospital were captured by body camera footage. All of these things are very specific and can be proven. Her attorney, Erica, has gone on and said that there was a cover-up. So we're about to get into what that looks like, because I don't know of a situation where an attorney cannot request a 911 call. Those are public record, especially if you're the person who called. In what space would the person who called 911 has a court case? Why can't you get these documents? Plaintiff further believes her statements made to the Contra Costa Sheriff on March immediately after the vicious assault, where plaintiff named defendant Diddy directly and by name, were captured by body camera footage. Plaintiff also filed a report to Orinda Police Department on April 17, 2018. So now we're at 3 different police departments and an actual hospital. But to these people, she did not name Diddy as the assailant. During this report, plaintiff provided her clothing to the police from the night of the assault, but they only retained her underwear. So you have somebody claiming to have been R-worded. She has tried to file multiple police reports. She's been at the hospital, so there has to be some record of her bruises because he violated her with a remote control. But they have her underwear. To date, the underwear were never returned, and plaintiff believes no investigation ever commenced. Plaintiff sought assistance from therapists in May of 2018, one of which tried to have her therapy appointments covered by a victim's compensation fund, which was rejected because plaintiff was told no law enforcement agency, and at this point we're talking 3 law enforcement agencies, had opened an active investigation into any of her many reports of her violent R-word. Subsequently, thereafter, police asked for a cop. Sorry, let's move to this really quick and we'll come back to that. Let's tell you what they had to say. So the Orinda police came out and said this. Orinda Police Department responds to P. Diddy accusers' claims they ignored her. One police department that was named in a recent lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs has spoken out. In a lawsuit filed earlier this week, a woman claimed she was assaulted by Diddy in Northern California in 2018. This isn't the first of Diddy's charges, which he has repeatedly denied. The woman claimed in the lawsuit obtained by the U.S. Mirror that she had told 3 police departments about the assault afterward to no avail. Now, Jimmy Lee, the director of public affairs for the Orinda Police Department, has responded to her claims. Y'all get into this. This is so weird. A report was taken on March 23rd, 2018. We take these cases seriously, and detectives thoroughly investigated the accusations. It was later determined the claims were unfounded. How? What? Where? When? Why? Let's just ask all the verbs. You have been accused of trying to cover up somebody's vicious attack. And your response is, it was later determined the claims were unfounded. How could the claims be unfounded if no investigation happened? If we go back to the lawsuit, she said that let's go back to here. Plaintiff sought assistance from therapists in May of 2018, one of which tried to have her therapy appointments covered by a victim's compensation fund, which was rejected because plaintiff was told no law enforcement agency had opened an active investigation into any of her reports. Are y'all hearing this? If we go back here, it was later determined the claims were unfounded. How can the claims be unfounded if you did not have an open investigation? I think this is going to hurt them more than they thought. They thought they could stick a pin in this. You have just opened the door to more questions. This woman claims she was brutalized. She clearly was at the hospital with wounds. How can a claim be unfounded if you did not actively investigate her claim? That's just simple. That's what detectives do. Now, Cali girl, I completely understand what you're saying. The case has a lot of, it's a lot. This particular case has a lot of elements to it. It really does. But in this specific case, she should be able to get any of these records. These people collected her underwear. How do you collect somebody's underwear and then claim that everything was unfounded? I know people are questioning this particular victim because that complaint read like I said, an episode of Scandal or How to Get Away with Murder. It was a lot to take in, even for me. Like that one was one of those complaints where I just was like, this is a little bit too much. But at the same time, if your attorney reaches out and says, we need proof, we need to see something from where in 2018 you told a therapist, we need to see the police reports where you gave your statement to three different agencies. In addition to that, we need to see exactly what was written up from the hospital. That attorney has said consistently that there is a cover-up. To me, this gives some credence to that. You don't even investigate an R-word claim where you have the person's underwear. It wasn't like they just came in empty-handed. You collected underwear. Give this woman what she needs to go to court, period. Exactly. I'm not a big fan of conspiracy theories. If you follow my channel, you know that I'm not a huge fan of conspiracy theories. But in this situation, some in the buttermilk ain't clean. Exactly. They took the underwear for a reason, but conducted no type of investigation. I would think that you would, look at what the hospital said from the R-word kid. I would think that you would go and talk to the neighbors. I would think that you would go and talk to the alleged assailant. Nan said Ariel Mitchell is a liar. I know a lot of people do not like Ariel. I'm not even telling you to like her. All I'm saying is an attorney for a client in a situation like this should have access to 911 records, medical records, and police reports. There's something to look at, whether you like Ariel Mitchell or not. At least it's something to look into, at the very least. I'm with you. Everything isn't a conspiracy, but in this situation, she said there's a claim. You're not providing anything, nothing with her underwear, and you're saying that it was unfounded. It's not like you said that the claim is still open. It doesn't even look like you opened it, because when she tried to go and get free therapy, she was told, we don't have any active we don't have any active investigations on you, so you can't get your therapy for free. Y'all keep your eyes open, because if it could happen to her, it could happen to any of us. Let's see. Lachelle, hey Mims, did you see the movie Blink Twice with Channing Tatum? Seems like a Diddy movie. Y'all have been telling me to watch Blink Twice. I'm gonna make time this weekend. I'm also gonna make time this weekend for us to read some chapters. So I guess this weekend ends tomorrow. So tomorrow for the members, we're gonna read some chapters of Bling. That is a promise. We're gonna get through these books that we started like forever ago now. Jessica, thank you for becoming a member. But guys, like the video on your way out. I'll definitely see members tomorrow for that. And I am, again, just waiting for the private investigator to get back to me about this case. Because I have, if I'm correct in this, this will definitely change the way we see one of these Diddy cases. So you guys have a good night. Stay safe. And I will see you tomorrow. Have a good one.